Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 2 of an Elder Scrolls Online Seasons of the Wormcold walkthrough. In the previous episode, we started the main quest. We were summoned by Prince Azah to Sunport on the remote island of Solstice. This is the city of Sunport we're in here. It says that champions of Tamriel are gathering beneath the banner of the Stirk Fellowship to defeat the Wormcold. Mirmal thinks he knows where 2 of the Alliance representatives were diverted when Mirmal tried to salvage the spell. Prince Azah wants me to find them, and Gabrielle Benele, who believes may be in danger as well. So we've got to find the Alliance representatives and Gabrielle. What we did in the previous episode is we explored the city of Sunport, and I'm pretty much done with exploring it now. So I want to go on maybe with the main story. Let's see. Alright, let's go on out of here. And I think I'm going to want to go ahead and continue the main story. Alright, I thought that there was a portal over here somewhere. So I don't see the portal. Let's see what happens if I try to track it. Alright, it tells me to go here. Are there any other quests nearby? There's this. What is this? Okay, so this is a, here's a public dungeon. I'm not going to do the public dungeon right now because that's going to be one of the most difficult things in the whole zone. But you know, this delve is on the way to the first quest objective. So I think I'm actually going to go to the delve first and finish this daily quest, and probably will pick up another quest as well. I imagine the delve will have its own one-time only quest, so we'll do that and we'll do the daily quest at the same time. What was that? Okay, it's nothing. Oh, here's another side quest.
Anyone who knows their way around a blade, best come talk to me.
Nithema?
I recognize that look anywhere. You're one of us. A fighter. You did some work for the guild, if I'm not mistaken.
I did?
Would you care for more? There's an initiative to strike at the heart of Cold Harbor that could use your strength and skill.
What are you doing in Cold Harbor?
I'm not at liberty to say. Orders. Go to the Ossian cage and speak to Kiruk. He will tell you more and reward your bravery for making it that far. Cold Harbor is dangerous. Venturing close is not for the faint-hearted.
Is there anything you can tell me?
I would not take the warnings of danger lightly. We lost many experienced warriors before Captain Lin sent me here to gather reinforcements. If you know of any other capable warriors, convince them to join you. Kiruk's purse is deep.
I'll go speak with Kiruk.
Take this portal when you're ready. Captain Lin needs fighters, badly. But an unprepared warrior is as good as dead.
Who's Captain Lin?
One of the most respected leaders the guild has to offer. They're in charge of this whole initiative, and the reason more of us haven't died. I know every failure and retreat grates on Lin. I'm thankful they're the one making these decisions.
Retreats? It doesn't sound like this initiative is going well.
Don't let those words intimidate you. We wage war in Molag Bal's domain. Everyone who followed the captain through the portal knew what to expect. The same courtesy will extend to you before they send you in.
What can you tell me about the Ossian Cage?
The Prince of Domination's realm always sets my skin crawling. But the feeling I got when we crossed the portal was awful. I swear there was something in the cage. Something hungry. The captain sent me back here before I could figure out what.
How far did you go into the cage?
Other fighters fought Daedra and established some areas of safety. But me? I couldn't take a step past where the portal dropped us. Captain Lin didn't judge me. They said this task was equally as important. I think they believed it too.
Alright, so obviously this is the trial. This is going to be the last thing we do. When we finish the western part of the zone, the last thing we're gonna do is this portal here, is this trial. But for now, I'm just going to investigate the storyline and see what all we can do in this staging area at the beginning. You discovered a trial. It is best to adventure in these areas with a large group. Trials are private, so only other group members can enter with you. Alright, that's cool. That's a new feature to the game. They now warn you not to go in by yourself. Of course, we're going to ignore that warning. Alright, we got some crafting tables here. As usual. Kiruk.
Are you the latest recruit Nithama found?
I am.
I hope you can stand up to the test.
Probably not. I was told you could tell me about the initiative.
Captain Lin wants to meet all recruits, but I can say more. There is a terrifying relic in the Ossian Cage. We fear that Molag Bal or the Worm Cult will use it against Tamriel. Before we talk more, did Nithima promise you a reward?
Yes, she did.
Good. This mission will only succeed if you have complete trust in each other. Captain Lin says that nothing feeds trust more than clear expectations and honesty. Take your reward, and know that we are grateful you made it this far.
Alright, thank you.
I'm glad Captain Lin decided to recruit more warriors. The Ossian Cage is not a place to take lightly, and the relic inside, the Dolorous Sista, it turns my fur white. We were prepared to face untold danger, but still, who could prepare for that?
What happened in the Ossian Cage?
It was horrible. I'll never forget the sounds of the bones crunching underfoot as we fought Molag Bal's horde. But then the Dolorous Sista floated in. That turned the tide of battle against us.
The Dolorous Sista?
The reason this mission exists in the first place. The captain will tell you more. Just know that there are good friends of mine still in that accursed place. If I could, I would go back to them. But I cannot. So you must steel yourself.
Tell me about Captain Lin.
They saved my life. Pulled me out of that fight by the scruff of my neck, and waited until I calmed down before rattling off every injury I had. Being forced to sit out of the fight always stings the ego. But the captain cares about us.
Can you tell me anything else about the Dolorous Sista?
It's a creation of Cold Harbor. If it ever came into this realm, let us hope that never happens. The feeling of dread when it fed on my suffering and pain will take a long time to leave me.
It fed on your suffering?
Yes. The others may not believe me, but I know what I felt. It devoured my pain without lessening it. The Sista feasted on my fear without comforting me. If I died in there, it would be an excruciating agony with no respite. A terrible fate.
That sounds like interesting boss mechanics he's describing. I'm looking forward to doing this trial at the end.
Over here, when you have a moment. I saw you talking to Kiruk. Hopefully that means you know about what's going on. The Fighters Guild controls key points in the Ossian Cage, but we lost a lot of warriors. Are you willing to join our mission? There is a reward to sweeten the deal.
Tell me about the mission.
I received reports that Molag Bal's Daedra were fighting over a powerful relic in the Ossian Cage. At the time, I had no idea what the Dolorous Sista did, but I knew whoever won that fight would use it against the innocents of Tamriel.
At the time, you didn't know what the Dolorous Sista did? Do you know now?
I wish I didn't. It harvests pain from the wounded and turns it to power. There's no shortage of agony in the Ossian Cage. If the Sista unleashes the power of our suffering on Nirn, a lot of good people will die. We can't let that happen.
I'll help you destroy the Dolorous Sista.
We were able to keep a portal open to the Ossian Cage. Rally yourself and your forces before you think about entering. I will follow you and assist where I can, but my focus is on my original team. They suffered more than you at the moment.
Tell me more about the Ossian Cage.
I don't know what Molag Bal's intent was, but the Ossian Cage feels like a graveyard. There are bones and decomposing bits of flesh everywhere. Several warriors lost control of their stomachs. If it helps, you get used to the smell.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. How long were you in the Ossian Cage?
Longer than you'd believe, given how small of a force we started with. When the fight turned against us, I organized the remaining uninjured fighters into blockades. Hopefully that will make your progress easier.
You left fighters behind?
They're keeping waves of Daedra from undoing the work of the guild members who died. When I left, they weren't in any danger. But I know that the longer we're gone, the more likely it is that either their spirits or their ranks break.
What is the Dolorous Sista?
A Sista is a container used for mystical purposes, and Dolorous means distress. I assume the Daedra who forged it thought Dolorous Sista sounded better than Cold Harbor's pain box. We have to stop the Sista before it can fulfill its true purpose.
Why are you so sure the Sista is a threat to Tamriel?
That would be a fair question, if the relic came from anywhere else. I'm not sure how keen your mind is for history, but Cold Harbor's creations always wind up causing trouble in Tamriel sooner rather than later.
How many Fighters Guild members are inside the Ossian Cage?
Hard to tell. A few groups of reinforcements have gone in, wounded have come out, and I'm not sure how many died. The good news is that we're not at the point, logistically, where focusing on casualty numbers is important. There's still hope.
If you don't know the casualty numbers, how can you be so sure?
Because the portals are still open. That tells me there are enough fighters keeping the Daedra occupied, and because there are still brave warriors, like yourselves, willing to go inside. Makes me glad I chose the Fighters Guild and not some army.
What do you mean?
I know I could have risen through the ranks of the Covenant or captained some noble's guard. But this? Protecting all the people of Tamriel? That's why I chose to join the Fighters Guild.
Okay. What's this person?
Some reinforcements for the captain's mission? How excellent! I heard the last group fared well, but they have yet to return. Oh, if you're going in there, you're going to need some help. Take a look and see what you need.
Alright, we've got a Mage's Guild banner, soul gems, a cheese cutter. That's not going to be very helpful. Limbian.
Pay my twin no mind. He cares so much about looking good that he never dresses for danger.
I see that.
If Molag Bal's servants come flooding out of that portal, you're going to want to be prepared. He's just begging to trip over his own robes.
Okay, this is a bit more helpful. At least there's some potions and stuff.
We were able to keep
yeah,
a
I've already
portal...
talked to him. Alright, let's go in. What's over here? What's behind the portal? Nothing.
You! The carrion portals! Tell Lynn to use... Feel the crowd coming here!
Yeah, not even gonna bother. Just leaving. Oh, it won't let me out. Alright. Alright, so that's as far as we can go without getting a group. We'll do it in the final episode of this. I don't want to say the final episode of this series, because at some point the eastern half of the zone is going to be revealed. So it won't be the final episode of this series, but it'll be the final episode of this part, like the first half of the series. Alright, so let's move on and go to this delve. Golm's Lair. What's going on over here? Just some enemies? Okay. I'm not just gonna fight monsters for no reason. Oh, there's a world boss. I wonder if I can get someone to help me. I mean, maybe someone's fighting the world boss right now? No? Alright, well, I thought that was going to be a delve. Unfortunately... Alright, I'm going to burn the Voroplasms. And then... the world boss is not... it's not spawned yet. So... it would be hard to get somebody to come help. Yeah, Golem is not loaded. Alright, let's move on. I'll go to the first part of the first quest. What's this? That's the second part. Actually, maybe I'll go there first. Which one's closer? Yeah, I'm gonna go to this one. It's an interesting building there. Oh, there's a delve right there. I'm not gonna fight that thing. Waste of time. Everybody's dead. That's not good.
Rigurt would like to speak words with you, my friend.
Rigurt the Brash.
Rigurt goes where the winds of diplomacy take him, and wherever the Scald King sends him, as long as there's mead. And rabbit meatballs. Rigurt loves rabbit meatballs.
Wait, you're the Ebonheart Pact representative?
Out of the way, Rigurt. Don't you have a task of your own to accomplish? Leave this to me.
Shor's bones. Rigurt knew he should have brought more mead.
Poor Rigurt. Let's talk to Walks and Ash.
Rigurt has a mission of his own to accomplish, but he is easily distracted. Now I sense the dust of many travels on your scales. You must be with the Stirk Fellowship, who I came to meet. But why was I dropped into a worm cult nest?
A traitor in the Mages Guild. Mage Farinor sabotaged your portal. Okay, so this is the person who was going through the portal, but the portal was sabotaged, so she ended up way over here.
The Mages Guild? I expected trouble from the Dominion or the Covenant, but not one of the guilds. I am lucky to have reached Solstice at all, although it did not seem so when I landed in this pool of slaughterfish. So where is Prince Azah?
Okay, so these are worm cult people that she killed. That's good. At first I thought like maybe our own allies were dead. Prince Azah is waiting for you in Sunport. It's the city to the east.
Good. I'll make my way there and find the prince. Rigurt and I were dropped into the bog of a hungry Hajmota. Still, I do not think the worm cult was happy to see me.
I imagine
Just
so.
ask the ones bleeding on the ground.
Yeah, that always sucks when you end up bleeding on the ground, doesn't it? I'll see you in Sunport.
This worm cult encampment makes one thing clear. Matters on Solstice are very serious indeed.
Indeed.
We have much work to do. I must assess the situation and send my report back to the Ebonheart Pact as quickly as I can.
You're the Ebonheart Pact representative?
What, did you think Yoren would have sent that buffoon Rigurt for such an important task?
I don't know.
I am called Walks in Ash. I was born a slave to House Drez, and raised in the shadow of the Tormented Spire. I earned my freedom, but remained in Stone Falls.
Why did you stay?
To work for the freedom of others. When the Akaviri invaded Morrowind, I rallied my people to go to the aid of the surrounded Nord and Dark Elf armies. That was the egg from which the Pact was hatched. We won our freedom with our valor.
Why were you chosen to be the Ebonheart Pact representative?
King Yoren hoped to send Lyris Titanborn, but she was not available. He asked me to go in her place. I am not as mighty a warrior as Lyris, but I fought alongside the Mages Guild in Cold Harbor. The worm cult is a foe I know well.
Okay. Alright, so... Still have plenty of time left. Do I want to go here? Or to the Delve? I'm gonna leave the Delve alone. I'm just gonna go... Wait, what is this? Save the ruins? Alright, let's see what this is. What's this?
At last, someone arrives. On behalf of the Nord Cultural Exchange, I request assistance. Greetings! I am Ysmer of the glorious expedition for the Nord Cultural Exchange, and the village before you is Shor's Stand. It houses a great community of proud Nords who, frankly, will not listen to a word we say.
What do you mean?
The Stirk Fellowship tasked us with getting the people of Shor's Stand to ally with us against the worm cult. A fine idea, except that Britt the Bold is in charge. She's too inexperienced, and the villagers are too stubborn to listen.
If Britt is too inexperienced, why is she in charge?
It's not her fault. The villagers sent the rest of our envoy away. Britt's too stubborn to leave. She gets that from her brother. She needs help, and I have failed her once already. Will you aid her? The exchange pays well, as does the Fellowship.
I'll help Britt unite Shor's Stand with the Stirk Fellowship.
Britt's in the square.
Last I saw, she was doing her best to dazzle the speakers of the village. Her brother Rigurt would be proud. I must return to Sunport. Prince Azah of the Stirk Fellowship expects a report on our progress. Or lack thereof.
What's the Stirk Fellowship, and why does it need help from Shor's stand?
It's an alliance of warriors from the 3 alliances, the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. These are personalities who do not get along unless there is a common enemy. That alone should tell you how dangerous they think the worm cult is.
Why do these warriors need help from Shor's stand?
Because they found more worm cultists here than they expected. Plus, Nords are great warriors, and this village consists mainly of Nords. Besides, the cult is a threat to Solstice too. It's just difficult convincing the village's speakers of that.
Tell me about the Nord cultural exchange.
King Yoren started the exchange to help bring the various factions of the Ebonheart Pact together. Since he was committing forces to the war against the worm cult, he figured we'd be helpful in connecting with the locals. So far, not so much.
I see, but you've had success in other places?
Very much so. Our leader, Rigurt the Brash, is a genius at diplomacy. He plays the fool, but always achieves his goals. I wish he were here, and not busy with a secret mission of his own. I just hope his little sister is half the diplomat that he is.
Rigurt the Brash is Britt's brother?
I respect Britt a lot. Following in your brother's footsteps is not an easy thing. Still, she believes in the cultural exchange. Britt's young, but with time, she may prove to be a greater ambassador than Rigurt. If this mission doesn't ruin her.
All right. All right, I'm willing to follow this story where it leads.
Stick your Stirk Fellowship where the sun sets, mainlander.
But we can help each other. Rid Solstice of the worm cult threat.
We have a bigger problem than the worm cult. Help with that, or go away.
Alright, here's Britt the Bold.
I tried gifts. I tried kindest and most flatteringest of words. I even tried logics beyond argumentation. Everything my brother said always works failed. How am I supposed to get through to these Nords?
Wait, Britt, how are you this cute and your brother is that ugly? Never mind, Ysmir sent me to help.
And you agreed? Oh, you're now my most favoritist person. Village speakers disagree with me about worm cult danger. They want to deal with things in their own way. No matter how far Nords go from Skyrim, we keep our cultural bullheadedness alive.
Do you have a plan for getting the village to join your cause?
Speaker Hialf thinks the village has a bigger problem than the cult. He wants help, so we shall help him. But you talk to Speaker first. I used all my most convincingest words, and the Speaker still rejected me. I must think up new ones.
Tell me about the village speakers.
Shor's stand has 3 halls. Bear Hall, Hall of Feathers, and Wolf Hall. Speakers, well, they speak for their halls. And halls speak for everyone in Shor's stand. If speakers don't trust us, then no one trusts us. Big predicament.
Okay, so now I can see that she really is his sister. She doesn't seem too bright. Why do the hall leaders get to speak for everyone in the village?
I did some asking, and each hall has big role. Bear Hall protects. Hall of Feathers organizes parties. And Wolf Hall keeps everyone fed and content. Very orderly. These are very strange Nords. Some ways I recognize, others not so much.
What do you mean?
Bear, birds, and wolves. Old Nord gods from really old days. But speakers don't talk like old Nords, or even good like my brother and me. They have new ideas, a different outlook. I will really enjoy this mission, if we don't make mess of it.
Why did the Stirk Fellowship send you here, Britt?
I asked very politely. My brother Rigurt arrived with secret mission from Skald King, and Stirk Fellowship needed someone to recruit these Nords. I thought it would be easy task, but who knew these Nords would be so different?
So, Rigurt's your brother?
Most call him Rigurt the Brash, but yes, he's my older brother and leader of Nord Cultural Exchange. Big honor. Skald King Euron sent him all over Tamriel, and now all over world. I joined as soon as I could. Exchanging culture is my passion.
I'm used to Rigurt talking like this, but it's weird seeing a girl talk like this. Alright, let's move on. You know what? I'm gonna go to this Wayshrine here. Just to make sure, in case we're unlucky enough to die during the adventure, we've got this Wayshrine right here. Yeah, you never know.
Where is my daughter?
She went after the beast. We couldn't stop her.
It destroyed a lot of trees. The beast is too powerful.
A beast? We could help with that.
Wow, they just ignored her, just walked out. Oh, I thought they were going to walk out the door. Speaker Hjalf?
You're with that culture exchange woman, right? Look, even if I wanted to talk the other speakers into listening to you, I can't. There are too many problems facing the village right now to lend our support to strangers from the mainland.
Problems? Like the beast?
You overheard that. Necromancers or whatever threat Britt spoke about are tomorrow's problem. The beast is a threat to Shor's stand right now. Good warriors nearly died trying to catch it. The village is scared.
But if this beast wasn't a problem, you'd consider joining the Stirk Fellowship?
I can't promise anything. But I'd have one less excuse not to consider it. The beast hides out in the woods, to the east. If you want to go after it, I'd start there. Given how much destruction it's caused, you should pick up its trail quickly.
Alright, what more can you tell me about the beast?
It's strange. So many of the reports disagree on the details. Our villagers can tell you what they saw. Just ask politely. If you decide to hunt the beast, please look for my daughter as well. I'd go myself, but I have to protect the village.
I will look for her.
Meet in Eastern Woods, friend. Beast awaits.
Stop the beast, and I'll consider this alliance you spoke of. Just don't get yourselves killed.
I will try not to.
The men and women of Bear Hall are among the best hunters and warriors in Shor's stand. My sovereign guard on the whole damn island. But so far, we haven't been able to put an arrow or a spear in that damnable beast.
Alright, let's kill it. Alright, we got Lorth and Golruna.
You're back? I doubt you caught the beast in such a short amount of time.
No.
I don't think Speaker Hjalf will help you or send any of us to help. He's got enough on his mind at the moment and very few defenders to spare.
You're really going to do it? Go after Beast?
I am?
I wish you luck. We will hold nice ceremony if you fail to return.
Can you tell me more about this beast?
What could I say that you would believe? The beast is unlike anything we ever hunted. It moves so slowly and makes no sound. We never even caught sight of it. But the beast has magic. Be careful.
Alright. I will be careful as I steal your meat. I will. And your greens basket. I will be careful as I steal it from you, as I rob you blind. I will be careful. Thank you for telling me to be careful. What's this?
I looked everywhere for that blasted magic hat, and it's still missing.
Magic hat?
Sorry, no trades today. You may not think that a hat is important, but I refuse to conduct business without it. My magic cap is lucky. I can't believe I lost it.
Tell me about your magic cap?
A sorcerer gave it to me to help light fires. I am not very good at that. But ever since I got my magic cap, people don't try to haggle my prices down. I have fewer run-ins with bandits. I always sleep by roaring fires. I need that magic cap.
How did you lose it?
It was so foolish. I was cooking and took my magic cap off so it wouldn't fall into the cook pot. When I turned around to put it back on, it wasn't there. I searched everywhere.
How do you know it wasn't stolen?
Because nothing else is missing. If some thieves come into my camp while I was cooking, why would they only take a plain hat?
You got a point.
I have several other wares that glitter and catch the eye. It must be here somewhere. I'll find it.
Okay. Well, no magic cap so far. I mean, what about in this box here? I can't pull anything out of the box. It's so weird. Maybe I'll find the magic cap somewhere, though.
Look! Destruction! You ready to prove our helpfulness? Speaker Hialf was not specific on how he wants Beast dealt with, but I have thoughts. A plan to really impress Bear Hall.
What's your plan?
We not kill Beast. I see you not get plan. If Beast dies, we look impressive. If we catch Beast and bring to village alive, we look most impressive.
Okay.
See? Capture is harder than kill. Yes, this good plan. Let's get to it.
All right, let's get to it.
Look! In middle of burning embers! Big glint! See?
Charred debris. Curved claw. A large curved claw. There's a sheen to it, like it is unnaturally clean.
Oh. That claw is enormous. Beast must have big talons. No sign of Beast yet, but keep eyes open and knees ready. We are in its territory now. A survivor! Unless she is the Beast.
Wait. You're not from Shor Stand? I'm not a beast. I'm here, same as you, to catch it. This must be what Father warned me about. Overconfidence, ambition, they only get you hurt. But I can't go back to the village. Not while it's still in danger.
What happened here?
The beast happened. We expected it to be on the ground. but the attack came from the treetops. Something snapped in the woods, and then there was a noise. Deafening, like thunder. That's when we started hurling spears. It was mayhem.
Did you see the beast?
No, just shadows from the flames it threw at us. Everyone else ran back to the bear hall. I stayed to hold it off. But I can't fight the beast anymore. Not in this condition. Father is going to be so mad.
Is your father, Speaker Hjalf? He asked us to look for you.
My father already knows. Great. He wanted me to join the Hall of Feathers, but I don't care about music and dance. I want to protect people. I tried my best. I fought the beast longer than anyone else. But I suppose it's your turn now. Good luck.
Don't worry. My friend here has hunted many beasts, I hope.
I have. Hunted many beasts.
Not forest creatures. Other one. That's our beast? It is small.
This is gonna be a problem.
Is sloth? Too small to call beast. Beastlet? No, that's silly. It went into cave.
Let's go.
Our beastlet just woke up bigger. I'll go after our beast. Catch up when you can. Good, beastlet. Stay calm. No exploding us, yes? Friend, take sparkly hat. I have suspicions.
There's the magic cap. Magic cap. The leather of this hat is speckled with animal fur and mud. It's warm to the touch and sparkles a little if moved too abruptly.
And just like that, we turned beastlet into sloth.
Really? Interesting.
Animals like me. The trick is patience, a soothing voice, and lots of hand-waving. Bear Hall hunters don't do any of that. They probably scared our poor little beast. It didn't know any better.
So the people of Shor Stand were scared of a sloth? A sloth with a wizard hat?
Silly, I agree. But silly can be dangerous too. Still, Speaker Hjalf may have trouble believing us. That's why I'm going to get our beastlet and hat cleaned up. No one will accuse us of lying when they see both.
How did you know that the hat was giving the sloth its magic?
Look at hat! It sparkles! Besides, did you hear merchant outside village? One with lost magicap? I think we found lost magicap.
Yeah.
Now, off you go to Speaker Hjalf. I have work to do and dramatic entrance to make. That always helps.
Okay. This can't be the end of the quest. This is way too easy. There's gotta be some twist coming up.
What am I going to do? My livelihood depends on that magic hat.
I don't care what you were doing. What if you died out there?
I am not a coward, Father. I do not run when things get dangerous. You captured the beast, right? If it's still out there, my father will skin you alive. Well, go on. Tell us what happened. We both need to hear it.
My daughter returned from the beast hunt, which is a weight off my shoulders. But where's Britt? Where's the beast? Tell me what happened.
Britt and I took care of your beast problem.
How? You aren't injured. You aren't horrifically burned to a crisp. Are you really stronger than the best warriors of the Bear House? Well, what sort of creature was it? What beast can an emissary of the Fellowship hunt down that we cannot?
It was a sloth wearing an enchanted hat.
A sloth? In an enchanted hat? I'll need to see that to believe it. But if you're telling the truth, you've earned my support. You'd best talk to Speaker Rigurt next. She's polite enough to listen. Which is more than I can say about Speaker Sograd.
My magic cap! I thought it was lost forever.
Here you go. Proof of your fearsomest beast. Now, I would like word with friend.
A sloth? We were terrorized by a sloth.
Hat returned and beast secured. How did you fare with Speaker Hialf? He ready to join Stirk Fellowship now?
Bear House is with us, and he said we should talk to Speaker Frogird next.
Good progress. Hall of Feathers is where Speaker Frogirda lives. She was mad before, but maybe she calmed down while we hunted Little Beast. I'll meet you there. My feet hurt after wrangling this little cutie.
Okay. What's this? Charge of Shor. When the Aedra formed our realms from Creatia, did Shor abandon his creations? No. When the foreign gods doomed Shor to the underworld, did he go quietly? No. When the sun threatened to still beyond the horizon, did Shor leave us in the darkness? No. When all seems dark, spark a fire. When others seek to decide your fate, stand firm. When all else fails, do not go to Sovngarde without a fight. This is Shor's charge. This is what makes Shor stand. Frogird.
I saw you talk to that strange woman, Britt the Bold. If you're here to get me to hand over my village to a group of outsiders who don't respect our culture, then you're going to have to leave my hall.
Why do you think the Stirk Fellowship doesn't respect your culture?
Everyone who comes here looking to take advantage of our might thinks they're more sophisticated than we are. You've been here long enough to join a hunt, but you haven't picked up a book or asked about our traditions.
If I read a book, will you consider joining the fight against the worm cult?
It's not about books, it's our culture. That Stirk Fellowship wants to use our warriors without really knowing anything about us. For me, to agree to join your cause, you must prove that you're willing to learn who the people of Shor Stand are.
How can we prove that?
Telling you would defeat the purpose. Look around, examine our books, learn about us, and find your own inspiration. You seem clever enough, and that young woman certainly has a lot of spirit. You'll figure it out.
Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. In part 3, I will read some books and find out about the local culture and see if we can get them to join... What's this? Some materials, okay. I will see if I can get them to join the Stirk Fellowship. Thanks for watching. See you next time.